Well, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Henry. So today's video is going to be a little bit different format for a few different reasons. Number one is I just finished a week of graveyard shift where I started at 9 p.m. and finished at 4:30 a.m. And then I had a day off, one day off, and then I went back to work on Sunday for one day. And then I had 3 days off. Just a bit of a weird schedule at work. And then on Saturday, pretty much recovering from the crazy graveyard, I hadn't planned on doing anything. And then I got a phone call at 4 p.m. in the afternoon from the camp host at Cat Lake in Squamish. Longtime followers will know that this is like the most polluted lake that I clean, and also just an absolute ton of people hang out there. I got a phone call from the camp host that said there's a young couple that had both of their phones in a waterproof bag, so +1 for the waterproof bag. But what happened was they dropped their phone in the lake by accident, and they were driving an EV, and I don't know if it's a Tesla or if it's like a car share thing, but they couldn't get back into the vehicle without their phone. So I'm sitting at home at 4 p.m. and I get the phone call to do this dive. I'm like, all right, okay, well, I would have turned down pretty much everything for a dive except the fact that this is this couple just simply couldn't get back into the vehicle. So I said, okay, that's fine. All right, jump in my truck, loaded my dive gear, jumped in my truck, and headed up to Squamish. So basically, you can see here the problem with dropping the phone in a place where there's no reference point, meaning that you're not next to a dock, you're not next to like maybe a deadhead or something vertical, like a piling for a dock or something, is that I have no idea where, like you have no idea where you are, and I have no idea where you dropped your phone. And you can see here there's a whole bunch of logs and so on, a lot of debris, a lot of silt underneath where they thought they dropped their phone. And I did have a reference line in the sense of the buddy on his, so this is the boyfriend on his Santa paddleboard, and that's the paddleboard that they actually flipped. And I dropped the line, had a reference point, but they kind of had to guess where they were. They were kind of looking at their surroundings. Like, okay, well, I think this is the tree that we're next to, and so on. So I had a good look. I think I spent about maybe 10, 12, 15 minutes or so on the first pass. Went back up, chatted with the boyfriend to make sure that we were in the right area. Dropped back down again. It just kept swimming around. You can see here I've actually just kind of left my scooter. The reason being is because I really didn't want to silt up the area. Went back, chatted with the boyfriend again to make sure we got the right area. And he thought, well, maybe it's a little bit further to the right and towards the inshore. So we relocated the line and dropped my anchor point or my reference point again. Went back down and had a really good swim around. Keeping in mind, I got the phone call at 4 o'clock, so this is now like 6 something, and sun is setting, so it's getting darker and darker. The phone case is black, and honestly, when I'm looking for something specific, it's not that I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a phone in a bag. The problem is I won't know exactly what it's supposed to look like until I actually see it. So, I got my light out. I'm looking around. It's getting darker and darker. Normally, I don't use my dive light at this depth because there's so much ambient lighting during the time that I normally dive, which is much earlier in the day. But this is now pushing supper time. I think roughly this is maybe around 6:30 or so. I'm looking around in this new area. It's definitely different. I'm not seeing the same logs. I'm not seeing the same beer bottles, beer cans, and so on. So I went back up to say, look, are you sure this is the right area? And by now the girlfriend, which is on the right there, has swam over. And so, sometimes 2 eyes are better than one. So she's thinking, well, maybe it's over in this area. So we relocated the board. And then she said it's probably further out and to the right, or basically behind them. So I said, all right, okay, well, let's go have a look. So based on that, a bit of knowledge, dropped down the line, and this time instead of leaving my scooter next to the reference line, I basically started scootering around in much, much bigger circles here. So you can see here, this is definitely getting darker, sun is setting. Which doesn't really bother me, but it makes looking a little bit harder searching for a singular item because I don't have a lot of ambient lighting. I'm scootering in a much, much bigger area. definitely seen a little bit of trash. Picked up a pair of sunglasses. I gifted those away to a camper at the site there. And then this is now 49 minutes into my dive, searching for this phone. I've definitely been down there for a while. You can see here the visibility is, I mean, it's pretty good. It's just that the ambient lighting is starting to give out on me. And then, of course, as I'm screwing the pattern, again, just keeping in mind that I don't know what I'm looking for until I actually see it, right? And spoiler alert, there it is. There's the phone. I saw this little corner of a black case right there. The phone is actually on. The backlight is on, and it's one of those things too. Is like I grabbed it and I'm thinking, man, I sure hope this is the right phone, because, you know, like, I've been down here for like almost an hour now. It's been 49 minutes. I really don't want to keep diving. So as I'm ascending, if you take a look at the right hand of the screen, 26 feet, 25 feet, I'm ascending and I'm looking at the phone. I'm thinking to myself, that kind of looks like the girlfriend. I'm not 100% sure, because, you know, like, I wasn't really staring at her. So I'm kind of thinking this has got to be her. So hanging out, doing my safety stop. Of course, now I have the phone. I'm trying to hang on to it for dear life because I don't want to drop this thing. And I'm trying to think of something funny to say, or maybe play a trick on them on the way up. So basically what I did is I ascended and then I scooted towards them without showing them the phone. And then at the last second...
Nothing. Oh my God. Bro, you are a fucking
You weren't even close.
Bro,
Oh, I knew it. It was like deep. It was like double the distance.
You're not holding. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, bro.
Can you pull my line up?
Honestly, I think I was just as happy as they are, because obviously they can get back into their vehicle, and an EV of some sort, and then I'm just happy to actually recover the phone, because I am getting paid for this dive, so I always like to have some result versus like, well, you're giving me the money and I can't find your phone for you. That's always the, you know, not a thing that I want to say. So basically, I know the phone is there. It's just a matter of running into it. And I've said it many times, my ability to find the phone is 100% based on your ability to pin it.